Hello, I'm Chris Williams from Read Comics, They're Bad For You, the name of my YouTube channel. Or if you're watching this on BitChute, the name of my BitChute channel is Comic Freak. We're going to be talking about the CW's Batwoman posts second worst rating of Season 1 with Episode 11, An Unbirthday Present. The Batwoman's ratings continue to plummet with no end in sight. And this episode 11 is now the second worst showing of the series so far this season. But let's get into this article to see what's up with it. The CW's Batwoman posted its second to worst ratings of Season 1 just a week after it posted its worst ratings coming out of the CW's crossover event, Crisis on Infinite Earths. TV series Final reports Batwoman's episode 10 had the worst viewership and ratings for the show since it premiered back on October 2019. It had a total viewership around 791,000 viewers and ratings in the 18 to 49 demographic of 0.20. There's a little graph here showing the demographic, and you can clearly see the 0.20 on it. The other numbers, since I don't really know what's up with it, I'll leave them alone. The show would then follow up those ratings with a slight improvement in Episode 11, but still shy of the ratings it had leading up to Crisis on Infinite Earths. Episode 11, An Unbirthday Present, had viewership of 869,000. However, the 18 to 49 demographic rating stayed steady at 0.20. There we see again another 0.20. And the numbers are a bit different from the others, but it clearly shows there's been zero improvement. And I'm still not quite sure, but it might have gotten worse. Batwoman did see a significant viewership and ratings boost with Crisis on Infinite Earths. The December 9th, 2019 crossover episode saw viewership at 1.704 million with a 0.60 rating in the 18 to 49 demographic. It would make the episode the second most viewed episode and the highest rated episode in the 18 to 49 demographic. The only other episode that was viewed more than the Crisis on Infinite Earths episode was the season premiere. But now that it doesn't have Crisis on Infinite Earths to boost up its ratings with the other stores from the Arrowverse, Batwoman clearly doesn't have the clout or power to maintain anything but a dwindling viewership. Batwoman currently has an average rating of 0.32% and an average viewership of 1.223 million for its debut season. The CW's other superhero show that airs on Sunday, Supergirl, also saw a similar decline in their viewership and ratings, coming out of Crisis on Infinite Earths. Episode 10 of Supergirl had viewership at 842,000 with a 0.24% rating in the 18 to 49% demo. Episode 11 of Supergirl would see a similar bump to Batwoman. Supergirl's viewership would increase to just shy of 15%. It would see 965,000 people tune in, however, its ratings would stumble to 0.20. And you can see the 0.24 and you would see the 0.20. It's going down with Supergirl, which is to be expected because it's another agenda-driven show with zero watchability to it. While Batwoman posted its worst viewership numbers in 2 weeks, following Crisis on Infinite Earths, Supergirl's Episode 11 numbers are actually the third highest in terms of viewership for Season 5. The Episode 10 numbers are the second worst, though. Supergirl currently has an average rating of 0.27% and average viewership of 988,000 for Season 5. Considering that Supergirl's, better numbers after Crisis on Infinite Earths are still basically just bad numbers. They're just up from where they were a little while ago, but it's still just 0.27%. So this show is still bombing badly, but it's had a bump in viewership, but only marginally. Which seems to be the trend for Supergirl, their ratings continually going down. This bump here will probably eventually fade as well because Supergirl is still Supergirl and she continues to make bad episodes that no one really wants to watch. Batwoman, though, as, having nothing really going for it, has just continued to, go down in the ratings, which is just, considering that I just don't like or watch that show, it's good for me because it means this show will probably be off the air sooner than later. Supergirl's Crisis on Infinite Earths episode fared worse than Batwoman in total numbers, but better in the 18 to 49 demographic. It had 1.668 million total viewers with a 0.65% rating. It's a massive decline compared to 2018's Elseworlds crossover. The Elseworlds crossover saw 2.167 million people tune in with a 0.77 rating. Crisis on Infinite Earths versus Elseworlds. In fact, the CW's Crisis on Infinite Earths had a significant decline in ratings compared to Elseworlds. Aside from The Flash, which saw a drop but not as significant as Arrow and Supergirl, Arrow's January 14, 2020 Crisis on Infinite Earths episode had 1.408 million viewers with a 0.52% rating. Its December 10, 2018 Elseworlds rating saw viewership at 2.64 million and a 0.77 rating in the 18 to 49 demographic. The Flash's December 10, 2019 Crisis on Infinite Earths episode had viewership at 1.727 million with a 0.65% rating. Its Elseworlds episode, which debuted on December 9th, 2018, had 1.834 million with a 0.67% rating. It's proven that the Arrowverse's numbers are going down, but not as bad as Supergirl or Batwoman's because they are just agenda-driven shows, so people are naturally tuning them out. They were only forced to watch those episodes because they were all part of the big CW's big event, Crisis on Infinite Earths. So, of course, those episodes would get the best ratings out of so far over the last few weeks. But once the event was over, of course, the ratings for Batwoman and Supergirl continue to plummet, even if they've had slight bumps over the season. And the reason why Elseworlds got such a bump in ratings compared to Crisis on Infinite Earths is because Elseworlds was a newer storyline, and you weren't redoing the same thing that you did with Elseworlds. I mean, after all, you're having heroes go from one universe to another. How is that different from Crisis on Infinite Earths? Oh, there might be different story beats, but it's basically one world has one set of heroes while another universe has another set of heroes. Then they meet and then they cross over. They fight some big bad enemy and then they win and they go home. In Crisis on Infinite Earths, I heard they were just basically trying to make it where there was only one version of each respective character in the multiverse. And that's fine. That's good. But it still doesn't equate to having Batwoman have high ratings. After Crisis on Infinite Earths ended, her ratings went back to dropping. The same with Supergirl's. Even if they've had slight bumps in viewership, their viewer ratings are still going down. That is because they're both bad shows. I mean, Supergirl, I've heard, is just an agenda-driven feminist show that has more to do with oh-so-random humor and the like. They think this appeals to women, after all, and they're sadly being proven wrong. Batwoman, though, is just even less than that. It's just the main character is gay. She's gay. That's all she is gay. They don't have anything beyond that. They have her fight villains. They have her flashback to her time in the army and how she was booted out of the army because she was gay. Because that won't definitely age the show prematurely and make people tired of it, because all they're doing is using tired storylines from the aughts that were old even then when they were basically being used when they were somewhat new. No one liked them. Everyone thought they were boring, even back then, because they were tired plots that no one likes and no one wants to watch anymore. We get it. The character is gay. Big, hairy, stinking deal. Supergirl is lame. She's just your average, oh-so-funny girl who is of the moment and uses so random humor. The same thing goes for her. It's tired. It's bland. We've seen it before. Give us something new, CW. Otherwise, we will stop watching your Arrowverse shows. If you like this video, subscribe. Make sure you're still subscribed because YouTube is going around unsubscribing people, so make sure you're still subscribed. If you're watching my videos but you're not subscribed, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Read Comics That Are Bad For You. Then go over to BitChute and subscribe to my BitChute channel, Comic Freak. Hit that bell for notifications, hit that like button, and leave some comments down below. And when my library channel is fully up and running, come and subscribe to that too. Please share this video. Share it on Twitter, share it on Reddit, and share it on Facebook. Share it anywhere you think it'll do the most good, because YouTube is not going around promoting their own YouTube creators anymore, and it would really help me if you could please share this video. Now listen closely, it's plug-in time again. Keep checking back in all my future videos for more information on my own upcoming independent comic book scumdogs. I'm Chris Williams, and I'll be back again tomorrow with another video or review.